First up, we have one of my favorite Season 3 episodes, Crabborg, where SpongeBob convinces Squidward that Mr. Krabs could be a robot. It's a really, really good episode, but of course, even a good episode like this has mistakes. There's actually two, and here's the first one. Let's see if you guys can catch the mistake. Roll that footage!
I'm not really feeling myself today. I guess I'm a little bit jumpy. I keep thinking robots are taking over the world, probably on account of this movie I watched last night where robots take over the world.
Yo, did you guys catch that? Don't worry, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. Let's expose this mistake. It's very, very easy to miss, but if you guys look closely during this scene right here and we zoom in on SpongeBob's pant leg, more specifically his left one, the animators messed up as the left line of SpongeBob's left pant leg overlaps onto the tray that SpongeBob is holding. I'm zooming in so you guys can see. I'm circling the line right here. And yeah, that line is for SpongeBob's pant leg, so it shouldn't be overlapping with the tray that he's holding. Like, what? Not a huge deal because I mean, like, how would any normal person catch this mistake? I'm just a massive dork, but yeah. And here's another one from the same episode.
Who's watching the cash register?
Did you guys catch it? Alright, so at one point of this episode, we get this scene where SpongeBob and Squidward fight to get a hold of Mr. Krabs. And we eventually get this shot of the Krusty Krab from the outside. Well, we hear the turmoil going on inside. The problem is, if we zoom in on the Krusty Krab and look inside, this second shot from the Krusty Krab is just reused, and the fish inside the store are like frozen. I'm gonna play the clip again, and you'll notice that it's just a still image. The fish do not move at all.
Who's watching the cash register?
Yeah, totally a mistake here, and guys, we've got a lot more, so stay tuned. I'm saving the worst mistake for the ending of the video, but the set of mistakes from this next episode are going to blow your brain. Let's keep it moving, gang.
Aw, so cute. I just want to pinch his face. Look at this precious little sweetie.
Alright, so we're gonna jump over to season 13 for this next one. It's crazy that there are currently 14 seasons of SpongeBob. I remember when I was like 5 watching season 1 in my living room. Anyways though, season 13, the episode is Say Aww, and this episode's a little hit or miss for me. It has some good moments, but it also has a mistake, and it's actually a really funny one. Roll the footage, and here's a hint. I'm showing a PNG of him on screen. You guys want to focus on Incidental 6 right here. More specifically, his feet. Alright, I'm gonna play the clip with the mistake, and guys, let's see if you can spot it and comment it before I reveal it.
All right, you brain-dead barnacles, drop those patties.
So cute.
I know you guys caught it. If you didn't though, don't worry, Cartoon Corey always has you covered. So, near the beginning of the episode, if we take a look at Incidental 6 right here, we can see that he's not wearing any shoes. He's just walking around in his bare feet. I hope the dude doesn't step on a Lego or something. That would really hurt. I mean, we all know what happened to Mr. Krabs when he stubbed his foot.
From top to bottom, my foot, what? Genius, what a rocket of path. Can't just say I got a foot.
Yeah, Incidental 6, you should go put some shoes on because you're barefoot here, as everybody can see. Remember this as it's important. As if we watch this same scene as it progresses, look, Incidental 6 randomly gets a pair of shoes. I'm showing a side-by-side, and I want to remind you, this all happens in a matter of seconds, so like, dude didn't go home and put shoes on. The animators drew him without shoes and then forgot and drew him again with shoes. All in the same scene, so yeah, pretty funny. Not as funny as this next episode's set of mistakes though. Let's keep it rolling. We're back to the classics with this next one, and I know it just passed, but the episode is Valentine's Day from season 1. And I mean, the episode's from season 1, so it's kind of just automatically a banger. I love this episode. Let's expose some mistakes though. There are 3 in this one episode. Wow. And here's the first one. Roll that clip.
Well, I'm bubbles for you, Sandy.
Chocolate.
So this first one's pretty straightforward. As you guys know, in Bikini Bottom, all right, Sandy wears her suit with the helmet on it so that she doesn't die. She can't breathe in water like fish because she's a squirrel and needs air. So the whole point of this helmet right here is to stop water from going in and drowning her. Well, the animators forgot about this for a second, as when Sandy opens her helmet to receive the chocolate bubble, in the clips you guys just saw, no water goes inside her helmet, even though they're literally underwater. So again, I'm being a nerd. This isn't that big of a deal, but still kind of technically a mistake. Like, Sandy should have died. I hate to say it, but like, Rip. Anyways though, here's mistake number 2 from Valentine's Day. This one's a lot more interesting. Roll that footage.
Mine! All right, everybody out! Because it's on top of Mount Climb Up and Fall Off!
Did you guys catch it? Well, this one's kinda tricky, so don't worry, let me explain. A majority of this episode takes place at the Valentine's Day carnival, like a big carnival that takes place at Goo Lagoon. Now, at one point of the episode, when we see this sign right here, we can see that climb up and fall off can be seen by the Valentine's Day carnival sign right here. It happens more specifically when Patrick mentions it. However, if we rewind a little bit back to when we first see the Valentine's Day carnival sign right here in this shot, Mount Climb Up and Fall Off is just not visible, it's not there, which is a mistake because, as I already mentioned, later on in the episode when Patrick mentions it, we can see the Valentine's Day carnival sign, but Mount Climb Up and Fall Off is right there. So yeah, a little bit of a continuity error here. And wait, there's more! There's another mistake in this episode, guys. Here's mistake number 3 from Valentine's Day. Roll the footage, please.
SpongeBob, we got ourselves a little problem. Sandy to SpongeBob. I got my ox in a ditch here.
My Valentine!
Man, 3 mistakes in one episode, that's wild. Hopefully you guys caught it though, and if not, you guys know the drill, I'm gonna expose it. It happens during this scene when Sandy is fighting the chocolate-eating scallops. There are some crazy creatures in Bikini Bottom. Anyways though, in this scene, the balloon's basket seems to be missing, only showing the string attached to it. This is how the balloon normally looks with the basket right here. But yeah, when Sandy's fighting them, it's missing, and we can only see this string right here. Don't worry, the basket does reappear eventually when Sandy arrives at the carnival. But yeah, during that one shot, it's just gone. Yeah, gone. Just like the animators who animated this next episode of SpongeBob that we're gonna head over to, because it also has a bunch of mistakes. What a crazy segue, huh? Anyways, let's keep it moving and head over to another episode.
Patrick, you're fired. But I don't even work here. Would you like a job starting now? Boy, would I. You're fired.
I've got another classic episode for you guys, that Steven Hillenburg era of SpongeBob. The episode is Arg, and I feel like this episode is actually one of the more underrated pre-season 4 episodes, where it's a good episode, but people don't talk about it nearly as much as other episodes like Pizza Delivery, for example. Nonetheless, this episode is a banger. Of course, though, it's got a mistake, and you know it's coming up. Here's the first mistake.
My turn. 5. One of your shipmates has been a bad pirate. You, Mr. Krab!
So as you guys just saw in the clips, Patrick rolls a 5, resulting in him sending Mr. Krabs to the brig. Remember that, alright? He rolls a 5. However, when we get a close-up look, it shows that the dice only rolled a 2. So they made a little mistake here. Patrick rolls a 5, but when we see that exact same roll again and see the card, he only rolled a 2. Very easy to miss when you're 5 years old, but yeah, I caught it this time. And here's another one from the same episode.
Huh? Who's there?
Come on, SpongeBob. One more game. I can smell the treasure.
This next one is really funny, and it's very easy to miss. But as you guys know, Mr. Krabs becomes obsessed with this treasure hunting game. And at one point, Mr. Krabs breaks into SpongeBob's house, and SpongeBob comes downstairs to see Mr. Krabs sitting, waiting to play the game with him. And if you guys look closely in this one frame right here, it looks as if Mr. Krabs is floating behind the chair rather than sitting on it. I'm zooming in right here, and yeah, it looks like dude is just floating on behind the chair, and he's not sitting on it, so totally a mistake here. And a weird one, guys. But stay tuned though, because there's even weirder ones coming up, believe it or not. Let's keep it rolling, gang.
Give him the old mouth test, Mr. Squidward.
These pancakes taste like a Krabby Patty.
This next one is from season 14. The episode is Necro Nom 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 Icon, which we've covered before, but I found a new mistake in this episode that I didn't cover last time. So we're gonna make it quick. Let's dive right into it. Let's see if you guys can catch this mistake without my help. So comment it if you find it before I reveal it. All right, roll that clip.
No! Squidward is not part of a balanced breakfast!
This is incredibly easy to miss, but when SpongeBob says Squidward is not a part of a balanced breakfast, I disagree, SpongeBob. His mouth line overlaps with his nose for one frame, which is minor, but I mean, look at this. This is totally a mistake. It's bound to happen in 2D animation, but you'd think it wouldn't happen in 2024. But like I said, I'd keep it quick, and let's head over to another episode with much more interesting mistakes. Like, the mistakes coming up are way better than this one.
Get out! No! You're going out this door right now!
You're not mad at us, are you, Squidward? Squidward?
Next up, we have the Season 5 episode, Breath of Fresh Squidward. I love episodes that are more focused on Squidward. He deserves more representation. Here's a question, guys. We know that Patrick got his own spin-off. We know that Sandy's getting her own spin-off. Plankton's also getting one. So if Squidward were to get his own spin-off show or movie, what would you make it about? What would the story be about? Let me know in the comments, but for now, let's expose the mistakes in this episode. It's what you guys clicked on the video for. Here's the first one.
And you, Mr. Smiley Face Krabby Patty, no one can come between us.
What is the meaning of this?
What's wrong with it?
A smiley face?
So I have no idea how I caught this mistake, and again, I'm going back to it, I'm a total nerd for finding it. But in the clips you guys just saw, SpongeBob draws that smiley face with mustard, okay? He draws the whole thing with mustard, he only uses mustard as you can see here. But moments later, when Mr. Krabs eventually shows SpongeBob the exact same smiley face that he drew on the Krabby Patty, the mouth of the smiley face is drawn with ketchup, which is a mistake, as when we seen SpongeBob draw it, like we literally seen him do it, he uses mustard. No ketchup is used at all. So I'm a nerd, but I got you, Nickelodeon. Get wrecked. I got you. It's a mistake. And here's another one from the same episode. Let's keep it rolling. Here's another one.
Can I tell it this time, Squidward? Pretty please. Whenever Squidward sees us, the storm clouds in his brain roll in and a nasty storm rages.
Now, this one is much worse, and this one's like really bad. So, when SpongeBob starts to explain how Squidward's brain works, it's very easy to miss because it's at the very bottom of the frame. But it seems that SpongeBob's pants are missing. Like, I'm zooming in here, and like I said, you can only see a brief little bit of it, but yeah, that boy ain't wearing any pants. And I don't know how I feel about that. SpongeBob's gonna get us demonetized over here. Anyways, do you guys know what time it is? It's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a really quick break from SpongeBob to talk about mistakes in another cartoon, a random cartoon suggested by you guys. And then we're going right back to SpongeBob, so don't worry. What should we do for today? How about the Simpsons? Leave a comment down below on what other cartoons you want me to do for the random mistake of the day, but we'll do the Simpsons for today, and don't worry, we're going right back to SpongeBob after. The episode in question is Bart Gets an F, and here's some context for you guys. It's about this character right here. His name is Moe. Your parents definitely know who this character is. He's a very iconic cartoon character, and it has to do with his eyes, all right? So pay close attention, and here's the clip.
I hereby declare this day to be Snow Day.
Did you guys catch it? Yeah, well, during the snow day and this shot right here where they're all outside, we get this backside view of Moe, and look, his eye is missing for a shot. It may seem like you can see his pupil, but that's actually the back of the black hair of the dude in the blue jacket that's in front of him. If we zoom in here, you can see they just did not draw his eye, and that entire circle is just see-through. What a mistake. We're gonna go back to the beginning for this one. We're gonna go back to season 1. The episode is Karate Choppers, and this episode's interesting. Pretty much SpongeBob becomes like addicted to karate to the point where it has like an effect on his jaw. My dude is obsessed, but guys, I'm also obsessed with exposing SpongeBob mistakes. I mean, I'm like a total nerd. So yeah, here's the first mistake from Karate Choppers. Roll that footage.
I'm gonna get you tomorrow, SpongeBob.
That'll be the day.
Now, if we look at the arms of the suit that Sandy wears right here, we'll notice that there's these lines on it, all right? There's a red one, a blue one, and another red one. 3 lines in total. This is how her design always looks, even back in like season 1. But in this one season 1 episode, Karate Choppers, when Sandy is at SpongeBob's door in this scene right here, look, she randomly has this extra stripe on her sleeve. To make things even worse though, if we watch closely, the colors of these stripes also just change rapidly. Like I'm showing it in slow motion, and yeah, I'm kind of nitpicking, but still technically a mistake. This next mistake from Karate Choppers is much worse though. Roll the footage.
Nice try, Sponge Brain.
Okay, so like I said, mistake number 2 is much worse than that last one. And it takes place when Sandy hangs up on SpongeBob after his attempt at phone karate. Interesting, SpongeBob. It happens really quickly, but look, SpongeBob's arm disappears. Like this dude loses his whole arm, and I don't think that's very healthy, SpongeBob. You can definitely blame the animators for that one though, buddy. They did you dirty. But guys, we got another mistake from this episode, 3 in one episode, damn. Let's see if you guys can spot this one down before I expose it. Try to comment the mistake before I reveal it. Got it? All right, let's go. Roll that footage.
With extra cheese. Go.
This third one is insanely easy to miss, but a common thing in SpongeBob are these bubble transitions. Here's an example. They happen all the time to change scenes. And in this episode, when we transition over to this shot of the Krusty Krab with people entering it, some of the bubbles from the transition just freeze mid-air and glitch out and stay on screen. They're right here, and you can even see the tops and sides getting cut off a little bit. So yeah, totally a mistake. Like, what? Stay tuned though, because this is just the beginning, guys. I'm saving some of the crazy mistakes for last. There are a ton of places that you can store your money, right? In a bank, in a piggy bank, your wallet, but Mr. Krabs over here for some reason decides to store his money, all of his money, in his mattress. And this is what the episode The Lost Mattress is all about, with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward getting rid of Mr. Krabs' mattress and just causing a bunch of problems. We're not here for all of that though. Let's be real, we're here to expose some mistakes. So yeah, here's the first mistake from this episode. Let's see if you guys can catch it.
It's killing me. It's me old lumpy mattress. It's like trying to sleep on broken coral.
Why do anything? I like the new Mr. Krabs. He yells at
Okay, so this one's very, very sneaky, but when Mr. Krabs opens the Krusty Krab, if we look really closely, I'm zooming in, all right? If we look closely right here, there is a keyhole on the door handle. Now, the problem is that in the very next scene, like seconds later, that keyhole just disappears. I'm showing a side-by-side right now, and yeah, like what? The animators drew it with a keyhole, and then they just switched up, bro. They just changed their mind. They're like, nah, no keyhole, which is totally a mistake. And here's mistake number 2. You guys should be able to catch this one. It's somewhat of a common mistake in SpongeBob. Let's see if you guys can catch it before I reveal it. Try to comment the mistake before I actually break it down, all right? Roll that footage. Take a look at this.
What are you morons doing?
Making a card for Mr. Krabs to go with his new mattress.
Okay, so I want you guys to take a look at literally any shot of the Krusty Krab, more specifically the inside, and you'll notice that this right here, it's the galley grub menu. It has all of the items for sale and prices. It's always right here, somewhat behind or aside from Squidward's cashier workstation that he hates so much. But randomly, dude, in the Lost Mattress, when SpongeBob and Patrick are making the card for Mr. Krabs, look, the galley grub sign is like all the way over here for some reason. It's like in front of the boat, which looks incredibly weird. This has never happened before and has never happened again. And guys, it's totally a mistake. Kind of a weird one too, but yeah, let's head over to another episode, guys. The mistakes are only gonna get spicier as we go. Like, trust me, we've got some mind-blowing mistakes coming up, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling.
With my abode, I would like to paint the chum bucket to please my wife, but alas, I am too small and feeble.
Next up, we have an episode that I haven't talked about a whole bunch throughout my time doing these SpongeBob mistakes, and I've covered like well over like 500 SpongeBob mistakes at this point. The episode is Bucket Sweet Bucket, and it's probably because this episode just doesn't have a whole bunch of mistakes. There's only 2, and here's the first one. Okay, for this one to really hit, let's take a look at like any shot of the Krusty Krab, all right? We can see it right here. And a big part of its design, at least from the outside, is this yellow enter sign right here. That's right by the doors, pretty much. It's always been there ever since SpongeBob season 1, as you can see here. But in the scene where SpongeBob and Patrick leave with the front piece of the Krusty Krab, like stealing it, look, that enter sign should be right here, but it's just missing. They were too lazy to draw it. Talk about a mistake, and here's another one.
He knows I'll actually want to see.
You wanted to see out the window?
I give you one simple...
Okay, so listen closely, guys, because this one is just, it's kind of technical, all right? So, when Plankton and SpongeBob walk over to the window that Patrick made, we can see that it has 8 bolts on it, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right here, I arrowed all of them. However, after Plankton notices that the window is closed, and we see it again, what in the world happened? Because it no longer has 8 bolts, and now has 6 of them. The amount of bolts bolts wouldn't randomly change in between scenes, and to make things worse, after Plankton bites off one of the bolts, there are 8 of them again. So just what a messy scene. What a weird mistake. Crazy, dude. Let's head over to another episode though, guys. Things are about to get wild.
Hope he's had his shots.
Oh, of course.
All of his shots.
Affirmatory.
For rabies,
Yep.
snailpox, and soft shell dance.
Yep.
Next up, we have the episode Once Bitten, which is all about everybody thinking that Gary, turns people into zombies if he bites them. It's an interesting episode. I actually really like this episode, just say. As a matter of fact, here are some crazy clips from this episode, and then we'll get right into the mistakes.
And finally, the bite from that infected snail will turn you into a zombie.
Here to dine on your squishy yellow flesh.
All right. I know what you guys clicked on the video for, mistakes, but like I said, Once Bitten's actually a pretty cool episode. Anyways though, here's mistake number 1. Let's see if you guys can spot it. Yeah, that first one is very straightforward. I'm sure a lot of you guys caught it, but when SpongeBob runs to the bus, we can see this stop sign right here, all right? And remember the area, remember the location, because in the very next scene, that stop sign, which should be right here, has completely disappeared. Now, this is most likely a case of cartoon logic, but still technically a mistake, and here's mistake number 2 from Once Bitten. Now, this one is really bad. Be prepared, guys, and here's a hint. It has to do with the bottom half of SpongeBob, all right? Pay attention, try to reveal the mistake in the comments before I actually reveal it. I know you guys can do it. Roll that mistake.
Gary, how could you?
Like I said, it's really, really bad. But when SpongeBob says, Gary, how could you? Look, he's missing his legs. They just didn't draw his legs. It's to be fair, it's only the bottom of the frame where you can see that his legs are missing. We have to pull the footage up and zoom in, and you can see right here, this space, his legs should be there. So they made a massive mistake. How do you draw SpongeBob without his legs? Crazy, dude.
Vibrating bed. Out of my way! Grandpat's gonna take this puppy for a test nap.
Next up, we have a very new episode. It's Star Cruise, and I'll admit I'm kind of cheating, guys. This is the Patrick Star Show episode, but I mean, come on. SpongeBob, Patrick Star Show, it's all the same stuff. Well, actually, regular SpongeBob is way better, but anyways, the episode is Star Cruise, and here's the mistake.
Or the ship. Meet up for dinner? Yeah! Sweet dreams, Grandpa! Enjoy your cruisy snooze.
Okay, so let's take a look at Bunny over here. This is Patrick's mother, for those who do not know. And you'll notice a big part of her design is this lipstick right here that she always wears. You can see it right here. Remember this, as in Star Cruise, when Bunny leaves the engine room in this scene right here, look. It's not a huge deal, but the animators completely forgot to draw her lipstick. And what's funny is after this scene, look, her lipstick is back. And before this scene, she was wearing lipstick. So even when we see her in the engine room, she's wearing lipstick. So just, yeah, a mistake. This one is nothing compared to the next set of mistakes we'll be covering in this next episode, though. Let's head over there.
What about Mr. Krabs' case?
Looks like you're gonna have to handle this one, son. Everything you need to win is in this here case.
Mr. Krabs and Plankton have been beefing for years. These dudes have a long history of beef, stemming all the way back to the first season of SpongeBob. And I can't really blame Plankton. Mr. Krabs is kind of mean to him. Plankton just wants to be successful as well. But we ain't here for character analysis. We're here to break down some goofy mistakes. So let's do that. Here's the first one.
If you give me the formula.
Never, you little whelp! What? No! I didn't lay.
Okay, so this character right here is Fred. He's the dude who always yells, "My leg!" And throughout this whole episode, Mr. Krabs versus Plankton, he's brown, all right? We can see him right here, he's brown. We can fast forward a little bit to a later scene, he's brown again. And here's even one more shot where we can see Fred is brown, okay? But if we pay close attention when Mr. Krabs yells, "Never, you little runt." Jeez, Mr. Krabs, chill, dude. Look, Fred is randomly blue, and he has the same eye scale as Tom. The real issue here, though, is the color. color. The dude was brown in like every other scene. I highly doubt he went and got like fish plastic surgery and turned himself blue. What most likely happened is the animators drew him as brown and colored him as brown, and then for this one scene they kind of messed up and forgot and drew him as blue. I'll forgive them, but still totally a mistake. And here's another one from the same episode.
Never, you little whelp! What? No! I didn't lay a claw on him!
Speaking of the color blue, this is a big part of this next mistake as well, as when Plankton first enters the courtroom in the clips you guys just saw, we can see that this fish right here on the right of the door is blue. Remember this, alright? He's blue, just like Fred in that last scene. Here's the problem though, as the episode progresses, this changes, as look, when we see the jury again in this scene, that exact same fish is randomly orange now. Here's like a side-by-side, he was blue before, now he's orange. But hey, don't worry, when we see the jury for the third time, look, she's blue again. So he or she, they're blue again. What a messy scene. Like, all the mistakes in this episode are all coloring based, which is really funny. It's crazy how many different types of mistakes there are in SpongeBob. We're back to SpongeBob, and the episode is Chums from season 13. A really good episode in my opinion that's all about Plankton going down to the sewers and meeting, you know, a bunch of chum that want to work with him. The plot itself is kind of weird, but the episode's pretty good. But you know what we're here for? We're here for mistakes, and here it is, guys. Here it is. Let's see if you guys can catch it before I come back and like reveal it, all right? So we're gonna play the clip, try to comment the mistake before I break it down, and then I'll break it down, all right? Roll that footage.
F is for friends who do stop together. U is for you and me.
Did you guys catch it? It happens really, really fast, and it's somewhat of a common mistake in SpongeBob. But while SpongeBob is spraying the Krusty Krab in the beginning of the episode in the clips you guys just saw, look, for about one frame, his right eye turns yellow. It does go back to normal, but like, SpongeBob, you gotta go see a doctor about that eye, dude. You're gonna need some eye drops.
We need to bust out of this joint. Any thoughts?
We could ask them nicely.
Yeah, I can see why you're still in jail.
The episode Jailbreak is an interesting episode. It's all about Plankton getting put in jail, like he gets locked up. But he eventually joins forces with his cellmates to break out of jail and get that Krabby Patty secret formula, or at least he tries. Now this episode only has one mistake, but this one mistake is actually like really bad. It happens really quickly. I'm gonna play the clip. Let's see if you guys can spot the mistake, all right? Let's do this. Roll that footage.
Bring me the Krabby Patty formula!
Sorry, boss. We looked everywhere for it, but we can't find it.
Did you try looking in the safe?
Did you guys catch it? Like I said, it happens really, really fast. It has to do with SpongeBob's pants. But when the whale cellmate turns around and looks at the safe in the Krusty Krab, look, SpongeBob's pant leg color is like randomly white instead of brown. I don't even need to show you guys this, but this is how SpongeBob normally looks, and as you can see, his pant legs are brown like they've been since season 1. But in this one scene of this one episode, yeah, they messed up big time, because why are his pants brown? It looks so weird. Not as weird as this next episode set of mistakes, guys. Be prepared, because these are gonna blow your mind. Let's head over to another episode. I know I'm kind of weird for this, but one of my favorite SpongeBob characters is Squidward, and it's awesome when Squidward gets like his own episodes where he's like the main character of the episode. And this is what happens in the insanely bizarre and wacky episode Squidward and Clarinet Land, where somehow Squidward ends up in this place, Clarinet Land, which is just wild. Like, look at how weird this place is. What's really strange in this episode though are the two mistakes. This first one though is just wow. Roll the footage.
You calling me a liar?
I don't appreciate your tone.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
This is a
Definitely one of the worst mistakes I've covered. So as you guys can see, when the bald eagle over here grabs Squidward with his tongue, ew, for about one frame, this frame right here, Squidward's eyes are completely out of position. They're like behind his head, when of course they should be facing the eagle. Like, how did this happen? Like, what? If you thought this was bad though, take a look at mistake number 2 from Squidward and Clarinet Land. Like, this episode is full of mistakes.
Squidward, are you okay?
It's such a nightmare.
Did you guys catch that one? So when Squidward mutters such a nightmare, for about 2 frames, if we look right here, his mouth, his entire bottom part of his mouth just was not drawn. It's only for a few frames, so it can kind of be forgiven, but like, how do these mistakes even happen, man? 2D animation's hard, I'll give them a break, but like, you just forgot to draw his whole mouth? Poor Squidward, but yeah, let's keep it rolling, guys. Lots of crazy mistakes coming up, so stay tuned.
just make an incision here. No! Shoot! Son of a gun! Not my bad.
I'll take that.
Next up, we have a modern episode of SpongeBob. This episode's from the HD era. It's Code Yellow. And the plot of this episode's actually really funny. Squidward over here wants to get a nose job at the hospital, but somehow SpongeBob over here becomes his doctor and his surgeon. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, I would never let SpongeBob perform a surgery on my face. There's a lot of weird things going on in this hospital though. There's a mistake here that's really funny. I'm gonna roll the clip and let's see if you guys can spot it. And here's a hint, it has to do with this fish right here.
And best of all, there's no SpongeBob here.
Oh boy, surgery!
What are you doing here?
Oh, hi everybody!
Yeah, so when SpongeBob enters the operating room in the clips you guys just saw, this fish right here on the left, who looks like Incidental 6 kind of, is purple, alright? Remember this? He's purple. But here's the problem. In the following scenes, like seconds later, we jump to the same shot and that same fish is there, but look at him now. He's now a completely different color and he's kind of changed shape as well. So just like, what? Fish don't magically change colors in between scenes. What most likely happened here is they originally drew and colored this fish as purple and then forgot and gave him a completely different color, which looks so weird. This is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. I really wanted to make today, like all of the mistakes, to be like funny mistakes. So stay tuned, let's keep it moving. Plenty of more episodes to cover and plenty of more mistakes coming up. Before we head over to the next one though, do me a favor, in the comments, let me know 3 episodes you want me to cover in the future and I'll find mistakes in them. Do it right now, leave that comment, but let's over to that next episode. Let's keep it moving.
This fall won't hurt me.
The episode, Goons on the Moon, is a really good episode. I actually love this episode. There's so many funny scenes. I think even Santa Claus shows up at one point in this episode randomly. So funny. Really good episode. I recommend it. But this episode has an issue, and as you guys can guess, it has some mistakes, guys. It has 2 cheeky mistakes. Here's the first one.
Oh, shrimp. Now where am I?
Now this one isn't that big of a deal and it's honestly very easy to miss, but this scene where Squidward is in the moon crater, the Krusty Krab delivery bag disappears and reappears constantly throughout the entire scene. It'll be there, then it's not there, then it's there again, and then it isn't there. And considering they're on the moon, I doubt like it's being put away and then being brought out randomly like this constantly. So this was definitely a mistake. There's some scenes where the animators forgot to draw the bag. And that ain't it for this episode. There's another mistake, damn. Now this one is really bad because I want you guys to remember that these dudes are in space, okay? They're in space, right? So in this scene where SpongeBob is having trouble putting on a seatbelt, we can see that he's barefoot. He isn't wearing any socks or shoes or nothing. However though, when they end up making a sale of clothes, SpongeBob now randomly has socks. Where did he get the socks from? Like, where did they come from? They're in space. This man didn't just get space socks randomly, so a bit of a mistake. I'll admit, the mistakes in this episode were kinda weak, but trust me guys, this next episode is full of wild mistakes.
You expect me to believe he was tickling himself?
You better tell him, SpongeBob.
All right, it was me.
Huh.
Like this.
Next up is the season 6 episode, Professor Squidward, which to be honest with you guys is not the best episode. You know, the plot is kind of cool because we get to see Squilliam, but not the best episode. What it does have though is this mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Isn't it grand?
Water.
He doesn't even have to touch an instrument to be brilliant.
All right, I've had enough.
So this character right here is known as Incidental F9, and as you can see, she's wearing this dress. It looks very good, she looks very pretty. But seconds later after that shot I just showed you, when we hear Fred say, "Isn't it grand?" Incidental F9's dress is missing. Her dress is just gone, and I highly doubt Shorty took her dress off. Like, what? Where's her dress? Where'd it go? That's not it for this episode, guys. I have another mistake. This one though, you really need to pay attention to. Like I said, this one's kind of complicated, guys, so listen closely. So during this scene where Patrick rides his locomotive into the trash can, we can see Squidward exit the building from this door right here, this door, and it leads to outside where he places the trash can, right? This door right here leads to outside, remember. But later on in this episode, this completely changes. It's like the animators forget, because when both news crews and the police come into Squidward's Squidward's classroom, they enter the same door that Squidward took to go outside, but now it leads to a hallway. So a bit of a continuity error here. I don't know what's going on, but let's keep the video going, guys, and head over to another crazy episode with tons of mistakes. Don't click off.
They're selling chocolate!
They're selling chocolate?
Yeah!
Chocolate. I remember when they first invented chocolate.
Next up is the season 3 banger, Chocolate with Nuts. If you don't know this episode, then you're living under a rock like Patrick. I love this episode, and it has some mistakes. Here's the first one.
Did you say chocolate?
Yes, sir. With or without nuts.
Chocolate? Chocolate!
So take a close look at Incidental 6 over here, as when he says, "Did you say chocolate?" his eyes are yellow and his tongue is red, as you can see here, alright, Incidental 6. However, literally in the next shot, not only are his eyes now green, as you can see here, but his tongue is also pink. The tongue color change isn't that big of a deal, but how do you go from yellow to green eyes? And there's more. This episode has another mistake. Let's see if you guys can spot it.
Would you like to buy a chocolate bar?
No!
Listen closely, as this one is very detailed, okay? So, when SpongeBob and Patrick encounter the con man for the 3rd time, we can see this staircase to his front door right here. And what's important is that it only has 3 steps. Remember this, okay? Staircase right here, and it only has 3 steps. But moments later, when the con man eventually falls down this same staircase, it's the same staircase, it now magically has like 10 steps. Like, what? Did he renovate the staircase in between shots? Because this is totally a mistake. First it had 3 steps, and now it has 10 steps. So yeah, a mistake. And let's keep it moving and head over to another cartoon with more mistakes, guys. Stay tuned, you're not gonna believe them. One of my favorite SpongeBob characters is Bubble Bass. I mean, this dude loves pickles, and I like pickles, you know, so I like him. But he had an episode entirely dedicated to him recently on the Patrick Star Show. This episode is Bubble Bass Reviews, and it's hilarious, guys, because they make fun of like YouTube reviewers. This episode has a mistake. Roll the footage.
Tell him I'm not home! Ready here! Have fun!
Yo, buddy!
Now you have to be a super fan to really catch this mistake because it's very subtle. But back in the episode Swamp Mates, we got to see Bubble Bass's room. And as you can see, the upstairs room is gray. Remember this, as it's important, okay? This upstairs room in Bubble Bass's house is gray. Remember this. But if you pay attention in Bubble Bass Reviews, when Bubble Bass screams and runs upstairs, the upstairs room is now pink. Like, what happened here? It used to be gray, now it's pink. I guess they could have repainted the room, but I don't think that would happen in a cartoon, guys. So kind of a mistake here. Don't worry though, we're gonna keep it moving and head over to another episode with even spicier mistakes. You will not believe it. Stay tuned.
Hey, I saw you on TV last night.
New Bran Flakes. Bold new taste. Bran Flakes.
Next up is As Seen on TV. Now, this episode is about the Krusty Krab's first ever commercial, and SpongeBob over here thinks he's famous because he gets like a 2-second cameo in the commercial that airs on TV. It's really funny. SpongeBob gets a massive ego in the episode. It's hilarious. Here are some clips.
Duh, SpongeBob.
I'm getting recognized all over. Why, next thing you know, people are gonna start doing stuff like holding doors open for—
I gotta say, it's really weird seeing SpongeBob act like this. He's normally such a wholesome character, and he doesn't really care about attention that much. But in this episode, he thinks he's the star of the show. It's really funny the way he interacts with other characters. But what isn't so funny are the mistakes in this episode, and there's three mistakes in one episode. Here's the first one.
One with a collar, turtleneck. Squidward, this crowd is insatiable.
This first one is pretty bad, but I gotta say, you need the eyes of a hawk to be able to actually catch it. So at one point, SpongeBob lifts up his shirt collar, but if you look at the back, right by his fingers, it's like the smallest spot. I'm gonna zoom in on it so you guys can see. They didn't draw the back of his collar. Right there by his fingers, we should be able to see the back of his shirt, but I guess they just forgot to draw it. And now that I've shown you, you know it looks kind of weird. Not as weird as mistake number 2 though. This one's really bad.
Cause when you're wearing fire,
we want
Okay, so look during this scene. When the crowd says, "We want patties," Incidental 46's waist is purple. Throughout the episode, it looks like this, right? This is how it's supposed to look, but in this one shot, for some reason, it's purple. I don't know what's going on, but hey, we still got one more mistake in this episode. Here's mistake number 3.
Well, how do you explain that? A second Krusty Krab?
Wait, now we've got no crew to make the commercial.
What are you talking about?
So early on in the episode, as you guys can see, there is a second Krusty Krab. But here's the problem. It's actually only shown when Mr. Krabs mentions it. In any other shot where you would be able to see it, it's just not there. Like in some of these shots, it should be right there. Here's a shot of it being there. Now look at these shots, it's just not there. It's missing, it's gone. The animators forgot to draw it, and wait, hold up. Do you guys know what time it is? Cause it's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a quick break from SpongeBob to talk about mistakes in a random cartoon suggested by you guys. And one I keep on hearing about is Phineas and Ferb. We've covered them before, but we're gonna do it again. The episode is Lawn Gnome Beach Party of Terror, interesting episode. And here's a hint, it has to do with this character right here, Isabella. I'm showing a PNG of her on screen, and it's gonna have to do with her mouth, okay? Let's see if you guys can spot it. Pay attention to Isabella over here and roll that clip.
Building a beach. Check it out. Can me and the other Fireside girls be lifeguards? We need to earn our aquatic safety badges.
Did you guys catch it? Because it's like incredibly funny. It's only for a few frames. But at the very beginning of the episode, when Isabella asks Phineas if the Fireside girls can help, Disney really messed up because they drew Isabella over here with 2 mouths. Like, look at this. She has 2 sets of upper teeth. Her mouth is like overlapped. It's like they drew her with 2 mouths. So yeah, major mistake here. And let's go back to SpongeBob. But comment down below, guys, what other cartoons do you want me to cover on the random mistake of the day? Like, actually comment it, let me know, and I'll cover it in the future. But back to the yellow spongy goodness, all right, guys? Back to SpongeBob.
Okay, Patrick, you go in first and control his arms and legs. Then I'll go in and control the brain.
All right, we're back to SpongeBob, and I've got another spicy one for you guys. Now, this one you're gonna really need to pay close attention to kind of like catch the mistake. The episode is Snooze You Lose. So this is another modern HD episode of SpongeBob, and I'm gonna play the mistake, but here's a little hint. It has to do with the top of Patrick's head, all right? Roll that footage.
You'll have to create another Squidward in a lab.
You are a genius!
Yeah, so this is somewhat of a common mistake in 2D animation, and it's because animation is based off of layers, all right? Each item on screen, like SpongeBob, is one layer, the background is one layer. I'm not gonna explain it all right now because animation is complicated, but in this scene right here, if we pause at the right frame, look, Patrick's head gets cut off prematurely. What was supposed to happen here is Patrick's head is supposed to be touching like the side of the frame, so the top of his head would get cut off, but they positioned him a little too far from the right side of the frame, which is why we can just see this piece of his head missing. You know, it makes sense because Patrick doesn't have much of a brain, you know, maybe that's why half of his head got cut off, but it's more likely that it was a mistake, and it's okay, we'll forgive you, Nickelodeon. We'll forgive you for this. Next up, we have the episode Big Sister Sam, where we're introduced to Patrick's not so pretty or cute sister. Like, this girl is angry, dude. But anyways, we're here for mistakes, and this episode has quite a few. Here's the first one.
More spiffy.
But that's from
my house!
Come on, sis.
Did you guys catch that? It has to do with the doorknob on Squidward's house, all right? So when Sam spiffs up the house, she adds the front door from Squidward's house, all right? You can see it right here. And at first, when we see it, the doorknob is on the right. Remember this, all right? The doorknob's on the right. However, though, in a few scenes later, it's now magically on the left. Here's a side-by-side. At first, it was on the right, and now randomly, it is on the left. What a weird mistake, and here's another one.
Whoa! Hey, let's go inside and play!
So this one's weird, it needs some explaining, all right? So when Sam throws her brother Patrick, poor Patrick, dude, like she really throws him, and he lands on his rock. If we look, Patrick's rock is to the right of the screen, all right? It's right here on the right side. Now the problem is seconds later, when Sam goes over to Patrick's rock, they travel to the left side of the screen, when we literally just seen that the rock is on the right side. So technically a mistake. This one's kind of weird. There's gonna be a lot crazier mistakes coming up, guys, that are actually actually really bad, so let's keep it moving.
Let's go back to the main deck.
Okay.
Patrick!
This next one takes place in the episode The Wreck of the Moa Loa, and it's right at the very end of the episode. Roll the clip.
That was awesome!
This one only happens for a split second, so I can't really blame anybody for missing it, but when SpongeBob and Patrick laugh after their ride gets destroyed, like I said, for a split second, SpongeBob's mouth is gone. Like, what? How do you forget to draw this dude's mouth? It's only for a split second though, so I guess I'll give him a break. It's probably a glitch. But weird mistake, dude, and we've got plenty of more that are even more weird.
Mom, look, it's a guy dressed as a Krabby Patty.
It's never too soon to start picking a good college, Billy.
In the episode Krusty Dogs, Krusty Krabs are replaced with hot dogs, which is just wild, but not as wild as the mistake in this episode. Take a look at this.
No more Krabby Patties.
So as you guys just saw, a big part of this episode is that Mr. Krabs crosses the Krabby Patty off of the menu, like insane. So insane that an ambulance literally comes. Now maybe you guys caught this one on your own, but if you didn't, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. But normally in the Krusty Krab, there is this workstation area with the cash register that Squidward always works in, this boat right here. But in that scene when the ambulance comes after Krabby Patties are taken off the menu, Squidward's workstation is just completely missing. It should be right here, but they just forgot to draw it during this one scene, which is kinda hilarious. Here's another one from this episode. I'll make it quick.
No more Krabby Patties.
Yeah, okay, this one's funny. So Krabby Patties, right? They're not sold at the Krusty Krab anymore. Well then why in this scene that takes place after they're removed is there a fish behind SpongeBob still eating a Krabby Patty when they're supposed to be gone? Not that big of a deal, but still technically a mistake. And guys, we've got more. Here's another episode.
At this time, survival looks bleak for the little yellow sponge.
No! This is my worst nightmare! I don't have a drink!
It's time to take a trip down the tunnel of Glove. This episode has quite a few mistakes, so let's get right into them. Here's the first one.
Glove, it's the tunnel of evil!
This one's very weird. So in the Hall of Great Romance, the scene you guys just saw, there's this robot right here with a green dress. Now, the dress covers its legs and feet. Remember this. However, when it eventually walks towards Pearl and SpongeBob, look, the dress is just kind of weird now and shows the feet instead of covering it. It's like the dress's design has changed somewhat, and then it's like this for the rest of the episode. Here's a side-by-side. Isn't 100% a mistake, but y'all know that that's very weird. And here's one that's actually a mistake for sure. Roll the footage.
She's gonna blow!
SpongeBob is your boyfriend!
So at the ending of the episode, the tunnel of Glove explodes, all right? And when this happens, SpongeBob and Pearl are in this boat right here, and you can see on the back that this boat has this little like flag on the back of it, all right? It's right here, remember this flag. Now eventually they go in water, and when the boat crashes, you can see that the flag is kind of wet right here. But then as the scene progresses, that flag eventually just disappears. Take a look at this shot of the boat, the flag should be right there, but it's just gone now. Literally no one removed it, so it seems that the animators forgot to draw the flag in these shots. All right, now I will admit the two mistakes we just covered are kind of weak, so let's head over to another episode and cover something spicy.
I could play leapfrog!
This one is hilarious. It's from the episode You Don't Know Sponge, and it has to do with our boy Larry's shorts. Watch this. You guys probably caught it, but Larry over here, when he first enters the store, is wearing his signature swim trunks, all right? I wanna go swimming now. But as he approaches this blender, if we look closely and zoom in on his shorts that are behind the table, they're just randomly black. The animators just completely forgot to give him color. Does it look funny? Yes. Is it a mistake? Also yes. And here's another one from this episode.
It's like we're not friends at all.
Now, Patrick may not have passed the quiz, but like a true best friend, he's always right here for me, right, Patrick? Patrick?
So, when SpongeBob says the line you guys just heard, now Patrick may not have passed the quiz, and looks at the ladder, look, their legs are missing. Their legs are just not there. It's kind of a weird angle. I can understand why they didn't draw them, but they're gone. Crazy how many mistakes there are in SpongeBob, man. It's like endless, so let's keep it moving. Another episode, baby, let's go.
Sea whelks have invaded Bikini Bottom and are on the attack.
Whelks? I'm not afraid of some goofy old sea snail.
This one I'm going to make insanely quick because we've covered a similar one already today, but in the episode Whelk Attack, this happens.
Only $3.99 each. That'll be $54.95.
I will not be surprised if you guys did not catch it, but as Mr. Krabs is coming out with the plate full of Krabby Patties, and he exits the Krusty Krab with the doors behind him, if we look closely through the windows to the inside of the Krusty Krab, we can see that Squidward's cash register station is missing again. We know this because of the order window. We should be able to see the boat that Squidward is normally in right below that order window, but it's not there. And I'm definitely overanalyzing this because it's a kid's cartoon and it's not that big of a deal, but let's keep on overanalyzing and head over to another episode and find more mistakes. But actually, first, it's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a very quick break from SpongeBob. Don't worry, we're gonna go right back to SpongeBob to expose a mistake in a random cartoon. Again though, we're gonna go right back to SpongeBob, but for now, let's talk about Fairly Odd Parents, another Nickelodeon banger.
Just let me clarify this. You married your car.
Yep. Now my kids get 17 miles to the gallon.
The mistake can be found in the episode Power Mad, and it has to do with the character Chester. Here's a little hint, we're showing Chester on screen, remember his hair color. Alright, let's see if you guys can catch this mistake, roll the clip.
We really need to stop playing. Why? I have to go?
No, you don't. You just win at 6:13.
Besides,
So you guys probably caught it, especially with the hint I gave you, but if you didn't, Cartoon Corey's got you covered. So let's take a look at Chester right here, and we'll notice that his hair is blonde, alright? And even when they go into like virtual reality in this episode, his hair turns to like this pinkish color, but his hair is not black. So why during this scene are his eyebrows or eyelashes black? They should be blonde. If we look at him in any other episode, look at his eyelashes or eyebrows, they are not black. So this is totally a mistake, and let's get back to SpongeBob. Do let me know in the comments though, guys, what other cartoons you want me to cover for the random mistake of the day, but yeah, back to SpongeBob. Our next mistake can be found in the episode Buried in Time, which is all about the Krusty Krab making like a time capsule. The episode's really funny. Take a look at the beginning here, and then we're gonna get into the mistakes.
Empty. I thought I'd never see the day. Oh, this can has been here for 50 years. That's longer than me.
Okay, it's mistake time. Here's the first one.
Right. This play is actually not meant to be eaten on. Now, with your permission, I'd like to perform a few tests to verify its authenticity.
So as you guys just saw, there is one fish who brings plates to put in the time capsule, alright? And for about a frame, if you look, his eyes briefly disappear for a frame. They come back, but I mean, come on, man, they should be there the whole time. Here's mistake number 2.
And thanks so much for...
So throughout the scenes where the fish are putting things inside of the capsule, we can see this red ribbon which runs from the stand to the Krusty Krab right here. But throughout this scene, it actually just disappears and reappears. At one point it's here, and this shot it's not there, then it comes back, just totally messy. And let's head over to another episode, guys. The mistakes in this episode we just covered are all right, but this is where things get wild. Be prepared.
SpongeBob, would you help your granny cross the street?
Why don't you walk yourself across the street?
Next up, we've got the abrasive side. This episode's pretty interesting. It's all about SpongeBob realizing that he's too nice, so like an actual sponge, he switches to the green side. He switches to his abrasive side. Now, we're gonna get into the mistakes of this episode as it has a ton of them, but first, here are some hilarious clips from this episode, and then we'll get right to the mistakes.
I wouldn't hang out with you for all the money in Krabs' mattress.
You don't know how long I've waited to hear those words.
Yeah, so this is a really good episode. In terms of season 7, like this is up there as a really good episode. Even good episodes though have mistakes. Here's the first one.
You're right on time for our play date.
Woo! I can't wait. You're my best friend. So beat it, Tubby. I don't care for your company.
Did you guys catch it? Because this one's really bad. It's only for a split second, so I get it if you guys didn't. But at one point, when SpongeBob is talking to Patrick, it happens for a frame, but look at one of his eyes. As part of his blue eye turns like red for a split second. Like, what? I'm zooming in. It looks really weird, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea how this mistake would have happened. It can't be a layering issue, but whatever. Here's mistake number 2.
Grab something heavy. Now hold still.
No, you don't scare me.
This is gonna sting worse than a jellyfish in a bucket of electric eel.
This one's really easy to miss, but when Sandy rolls up the sleeves on her suit, there is weirdly black hair on her arms even though she already has fur. Think about that for a second. Weird. Here's mistake number 3.
It's unbelievable. More money for service above and beyond.
Okay, this one is really funny. At one point, as you guys saw, we go into a dictionary in this episode and we can see the definition for multiple words, obviously. Now, when the dictionary is open, you'll notice that the word more is missing from the definition of overkill. In the episode, it reads as the process of doing than a situation requires, when it's obviously supposed to say the process of doing more than a situation requires. Also, in the same scene, if we move over to the left, like in that same shot, you'll notice that the left side of the entire dictionary is like incomplete. It like cuts off here when it's not supposed to. Anyways though, there's actually more mistakes in this episode. Here's another one.
Time to help me test out my disappearator.
No, can't do.
Brainless.
As you guys know, Sandy wears a helmet, a glass helmet that nothing should be able to go through because it's glass, duh. But when this thing hits Sandy, it somehow just goes through her helmet. Like I'm showing it in slow motion, look, it glitches and goes through her helmet when it shouldn't be able to do that because it's a glass helmet. Crazy, dude. Next up, we have the episode The Grill is Gone, and this is a very obscure episode. I don't see people talking about it all that much, but I will say it is a fairly underrated episode in my opinion. It's actually pretty good. Anyways though, here's the mistake.
Let's see him beat us this time. Oh, thanks, Mr. Krabs. Not everybody will tell you.
Alright, so at the ending of this episode, alright, we get this scene where all of these characters take the Krusty Krab and they slide down with the Krusty Krab. Also in this episode, we're introduced to these two twins, this boy and girl twin, brother and sister duo. Now, before they roll down the hill on the Krusty Krab, we can see that the boy twin is sitting here and that the girl twin is sitting here. But here's the problem. Once the Krusty Krab actually starts sliding down, they have completely switched places and now the girl is here and the boy's here. Like, here's a side-by-side showing you. And I mean, they're literally on a moving restaurant. They wouldn't be able to switch spots randomly, so this was definitely a mistake. They drew it like this, and then when the sliding was happening, they drew it like this. And guys, that's nothing compared to some of these other mistakes coming up. Let's head over to another episode.
You'd better stop bothering me and put on your thinking cap.
Great idea, Squidward.
He actually has one.
This one I'm gonna make it quick, but it's like hilarious. It takes place in the episode Fiasco, and I want you to pay close attention to Squidward's house, all right? You guys know this is how Squidward's house looks. Pay attention to this. Roll that footage.
Open up! Do you mind? Some of us have nothing to do tomorrow.
What?
Did you guys catch it? Did you guys see Squidward's house? Well, you probably didn't because that's the mistake. Real quick, as you guys know, this is Conch Street. This is where SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward all live, and it goes Patrick's house, Squidward's house, and SpongeBob's house. What lovely neighbors they are. Now, here's the issue. When we see Plankton walk to SpongeBob's house after Patrick's, we should be able to see Squidward's house, right? It's right in the middle, but it's just completely absent from the scene. They just didn't draw it. It should be right here, but it's not. And that, my friends, is a mistake. It ain't nearly as bad as this next episode, though. Next up, we have the episode Goons on the Moon, which is a banger, but you guys know what's coming. I gotta expose this mistake. Here's a hint. You want to pay attention to the doors of Sandy's tree dome, okay? Let's take a look at this.
We're going to the moon!
All right, hopefully you guys spotted the mistake, but this one is kind of a tricky one, so don't worry, Cartoon Corey's got you. After all, I have no life and spend every day looking for SpongeBob mistakes, so I mean, I definitely got you. But anyways, at the beginning of this episode, we can see that there is an airlock on Sandy's tree dome, and this is to make sure that air is locked in her tree dome, because as you guys know, Sandy's a squirrel, so she can't just breathe water like fish. She needs her tree dome, which has air in it. Yada, 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 da 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 da, you guys know. But yeah, we see this airlock right here. But here's the thing, we get a similar shot during the liftoff scene, where we can see the same spot, which should have the airlock, but look, the airlock is missing. So here's a side-by-side, the airlock was there, but then in this one shot, the airlock is just gone. Poof, it magically disappeared, and this is a mistake. And a bad one too, because without that airlock, guys, Sandy, rip, RIP. Next up, we have a good old classic. We have Sailor Mouth. This episode is literally all about swearing, where SpongeBob and Patrick use words like these.
Lovely day we're having. How right you are, Patrick.
These are swears in Bikini Bottom, and you guys should never repeat them. This episode is iconic, and I'm sure if you ask any SpongeBob fan, they'll tell you this is one of their like top 20, top 10 episodes. It's definitely one of mine, even though it has mistakes. Let's dive into one right now, guys. And here's a hint, pay close attention to Mama Krabs. I'm showing a PNG of her on screen. This is Mama Krabs. Pay attention to her.
Yeah! My foot!
Alrighty, so as you guys just seen, at the ending of the episode, we see Grandma Krabs making SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs paint her home. And eventually, she ends up stubbing her foot. Now, here's the mistake, guys. So we see that Betsy Krabs over here stubs this foot right here. I believe it's her right foot that she stubs, as you can see here, but remember, it's this foot. This is the foot that she hits, and it hurts. But the problem is, like, when she goes to lift up her foot and hold the foot that was hurt, she grabs her other leg. So this is the leg that she hits. But then when she like grabs her hurt leg to like kiss it better and like soothe it, she grabs the wrong leg. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? This is the leg you hurt. Why are you lifting up this leg? Like, what? This same thing also happens with Mr. Krabs. Take a look at this real quick.
You're gonna give the Krusty Krab a fresh coat of paint from top to bottom. Wow! My foot! What?
Yeah, as you can see, when Mr. Krabs is coming out with the paint, he stubs his right foot, but for some reason, this dude holds his left foot, the one that is not injured. Very, very funny, guys. This next episode is another obscure one. I'm like 90% sure a lot of you have never watched this episode, and you're not missing much. It's not the best episode. Honestly, it's called Call the Cops, and we got 2 mistakes. Try to comment the mistake before I come back in and explain it. I know you guys can do it. You guys don't even need me to find mistakes. You guys can do it on your own. Roll that footage.
Stop, thief! He's over there! Stop him!
All right, hopefully you guys caught it, but if not, Cartoon Corey's got you. So at the beginning of the episode, when Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob are chasing Plankton, we can see that these customers, all of these customers are eating their Krabby Patties. Look at this dude. We can literally see him eating the patty, but the problem is despite how long this scene is, none of the patties end up having bites out of them. So the customers are just eating the Krabby Patties infinitely. They're just eating them constantly, and they're not getting any bites out of them. A very, very strange mistake. And here's mistake number 2 from Call the Cops.
I don't have a license. Yeah, that's what I thought.
How did you know that?
That's classified.
This one is much worse. So throughout SpongeBob, a very common thing are bubble animations. And don't worry guys, this isn't a rough draft Korea bubble transition error. I know you guys probably know what I mean when I say that. This is a completely different type of error, but here are some examples of bubble transitions in SpongeBob. All right, you can see one here. Here's another one. They're a staple of the show. Well, in Call the Cops, when SpongeBob takes Helen the Felon to jail, as this bubble transition starts, we can actually see that they both just suddenly disappear out of frame as the bubble transition is happening. We kind of have to slow things down, but yeah, they just disappear, guys. You know what's also gonna disappear though? Some of these Nickelodeon animators when I expose this next episode's mistakes.
It's an emergency! My son! Please!
Mom, I'm just doing the crap.
We're gonna be dancing in this next episode, guys, because we're talking about slimy dancing. And I've covered this episode many times before, but I actually found a new mistake that is like hilarious, okay? This mistake is really funny. You need to hear this clip though for it to make sense. Roll the footage.
The rulebook clearly states a single dancer must perform without any further assistance from a partner.
Alright, so let me explain, guys. So in this episode, there's a big dance competition that Squidward wants to enter in and win. SpongeBob and Patrick also enter the competition. Now here's the thing, the rules of this competition state that a single dancer cannot be assisted by a partner. So this means that if you're going to enter the contest, you can only dance by yourself. You can't get help from anybody else, and you can't dance with another person. It's a solo act. But here's the problem, right? In this episode, SpongeBob and Patrick both audition together as a team, despite the rules, and they even make it to the finals of the competition, when again, the rules state that you cannot do it as a team or a pair, you must do it by yourself. So that right there is a mistake, and also, this seahorse character right here should have also been kicked out of the competition because it's a two-person costume. As you can see, there's two people in the costume, which again, you cannot be assisted by a partner. As you guys literally heard in those clips, so I'm rambling a bit, but this is a really funny mistake if you think about it. Here's one more from Slimy Dancing, though.
By unanimous decision, we have a winner. Fine!
I'll make this one quick because it's very, very straightforward. But when Squidward uses his arms to collect the trophy, look, SpongeBob's teeth turn yellow, which I don't even need to tell you guys is a mistake. As you can see here, his teeth are normally white. So yeah, still lots of mistakes to come though, guys. Do not click off yet. Things are going to get spicy. Up next, we have I Heart Dancing, another dancing themed SpongeBob episode. How fitting. This time though, instead of SpongeBob potentially sabotaging Squidward's audition at the dance competition, this one's all about Squidward trying to sabotage SpongeBob. It's actually pretty funny. Here are some funny clips, and then we're gonna get right into the mistakes. They're really bad.
Oh, I love this song!
That is the stupidest dance move I've ever seen.
Who put you on the planet?
Okay, it's mistake time. Here's the first mistake.
We are gonna keep working on your routine until you get it right. And I don't care how long it takes. Now watch.
All right, so soon after SpongeBob's cane dance here, if we watch very closely and we pause at the right frame, wait for it, boom, the animators just completely forgot to color in Squidward's nose, leaving it just like transparent. It's only for a frame, but his nose just has no color. Like, look at how weird that looks, dude. Like, Squidward, go get a nose, man. All right, this episode's about dancing, guys, so let's dance on to mistake number 2 from I Heart Dancing. Roll the footage, please.
Well, I got music, friend. In my mind. I love this song.
This one is admittedly potentially some cartoon logic, but it's still kind of weird, and the way it's kind of like presented is kind of lazy. Now, in the clips you guys just saw, SpongeBob is seen wearing his Krusty Krab employee hat. But then we get this gag where he pulls his brain literally out of his head. And when he does this, we don't see the hat fly off or anything, but he's just not wearing the hat anymore. All right, the hat is off of his head. The issue though is like literally a second later when SpongeBob begins dancing, despite the hat missing in the last shot, it now reappears as he's dancing, making for just a messy scene. Like it's there, then it's not there, and then it's back again. Talk about a continuity error. And guys, do you know what time it is? It's time for the random mistake of the day. Where you guys know is poppin', we're gonna take a quick break from SpongeBob to talk about mistakes in a random cartoon suggested by you guys. And then of course, we're gonna go back to SpongeBob. I'm not done with SpongeBob yet, so if that's all you want, hold up because I still got some crazy mistakes coming up for SpongeBob. But we're gonna talk about Phineas and Ferb, more specifically the episode Bowl-O-Rama Drama. Really good episode, and here is a hint, guys. I want you to pay close attention to Jeremy. Here's a PNG. This is the character Jeremy. Pay close attention to him.
You were right about Phineas and Ferb this whole time.
Candace, that is so cool how you busted your brothers like that. Will you marry me?
All right, like I said, if you pay close attention to Jeremy, you guys probably caught it. But if you look closely at our boy Jeremy here during Candace's fantasy about having busted Phineas and Ferb, the animators just forgot to give him legs entirely. He just has no legs. Like, I'm zooming in here, dude, and this is like really bad. It is just a fantasy shot. Like, this is just like Candace fantasizing, but he should still have legs. And here's another mistake from this same episode. All right, so this dude right here is Perry the Platypus, and he's like a legend. He's the best spy that has ever lived in the history of spies. And he always wears this hat, okay? It's like a brown hat. The top is brown, it has a black stripe on it, and the bottom of the hat is also brown, as you can see in this shot. But in the clips you guys just saw, when Perry breaks free of the ice block he was trapped in, we can see for about like a split second that the underside of his fedora, of like this hat right here, is the same color as his fur. It's the same blue color, which is 100% a coloring mistake. I'm circling it. This part of the hat right here is supposed to be black. Here's an example of it being black. So it being like greenish blue here is absolutely a mistake. Here's one more mistake from this episode, and pay attention to what Phineas is riding in both of these clips right here.
Split up and let's keep her in play until we get to the fair. Wait. We got 2 more world's most pointless records of our own.
All right, if you caught it, this one's like really funny. So like when Phineas first takes off to arrive at the pointless world record stage, he's riding a scooter, as you can see here, okay? However, though, when the dude actually arrives there, his scooter has transformed into a bike. And remember, this all happens in a matter of minutes, okay? This isn't like cartoon logic where like Phineas changed to a bike. We see him leave on a scooter. I have no idea how he randomly gets this bike. This was totally a mistake, and it's very funny. And we still ain't done yet because we're heading back over to Bikini Bottom.
You can talk. I'm gonna name you Barky.
Let go already. You're wrinkling my leaves, you filter-feeding freak.
Let's head over to season 13 for a moment. Since the season ended, I haven't really talked about it all that much. We have the episode Arbor Day Disarray. And this first mistake is definitely going to crack you up a little bit. Pay attention to what's inside Patrick's house in both of these shots.
Television! We now return to...
All right, so listen closely, okay? When Patrick opens his rock the first time, all right, he has a green chair and gray TV set, all right? That's like a real green chair. It's not made out of sand, and that's like a legitimate TV not made out of sand. It's gray, and then the couch is green. But once the dude actually enters his rock house, look, they're now both completely made out of sand. This happens in a matter of seconds too, dude. Like, look, here's a side-by-side. First it's green, the chair, and now it's just a chair made out of sand. Like, what happened here? It's actually a pretty bad mistake if you think about it, and here's another one from Arbor Day Disarray.
Hey, Squidward! Your barber called. He said he's sorry. Philistine!
I'm gonna make this one quick because I've already done a similar mistake like this today, but as you guys know, it goes Patrick's house, Squidward's house, and SpongeBob's house. This is Conch Street. But in this shot, when Squidward kicks his tree out of his house, Patrick's house should be right here, but it just doesn't appear at all. And it's especially bad because in the shot before this, it's there, and it's a very similar shot, so we can see it here. But then when the tree's being kicked out of his house, it's just not there at all. We should at least be able to see like the side of it from this angle. So this was another lazy shot right here, and I have one more from this episode, guys, and stay tuned because random mistake of the day is coming up soon.
To grow a happy, well-rounded tree, you need to talk to him.
Hi, I'm SpongeBob.
Ooh, nice to
Hello.
Man, 3 mistakes in one episode is pretty bad, especially for season 13. You'd think like this wouldn't be happening like in 2023, and it's still happening in 2024 in season 14. But anyways, as you guys know, this right here is Squidward, like obviously, and he always has these wrinkles on his forehead. It's actually a signature part of his look. You go to his first ever appearance, he has wrinkles. You look at like any shot of him, he always has forehead wrinkles. But here's the thing, all right? When the episode cuts to this like a far shot of all characters talking to their new trees, Squidward is missing his forehead wrinkles the entire time. And look, this isn't a situation where he maybe made like a facial expression or something that would make them go away. He's just idle the whole time, and they should be there. Not a big deal, but it's still a mistake, and let's keep it rolling.
Might as well tell us what was so very important.
I was just saying that these lines you drew remind me of a railroad track.
All right, this is definitely a really, really bad one, which is why we're talking about it now. It's in the episode Professor Squidward, okay? And here's a hint, it has to do with this character, Incidental F9. Pay attention to both these clips I'm gonna play, and yeah, let's see if you guys can spot it. Try to comment the mistake before I come back in and like spoil it.
Isn't it grand?
What is?
He doesn't even have to touch an instrument to be brilliant.
All right, I've had enough.
Did you guys catch it? Like I said, it has to do with Incidental F9 here, as throughout a majority of the scenes you guys just seen, Incidental F9 is wearing a dress. It's hard to see in some angles, but as you can see, they are wearing a dress. Here's the issue though, once Fred says, "Isn't it grand?" we actually get a shot of Incidental F9 not wearing the dress. Like the dress is just missing. If you look closely, you can see that she's low-key just not wearing anything. You can't see anything inappropriate, don't worry parents, but she has nothing on, which just, yeah, is totally a mistake. I don't think that was intentional, guys. I highly doubt they just didn't draw her dress in this one shot on purpose. Next up, we have a very underrated episode of SpongeBob called Pineapple Invasion. Like, be real, comment if you've seen this episode before. It's pretty obscure. Of course, though, it has mistakes, 2 really bad ones, so here's the first one. Alright, so take a look at the inside of the Krusty Krab. A lot of you guys already know this, but there's always, on the inside, the galley grub menu, where it has, like, the items you can order at the Krusty Krab, and the order here sign, this green sign right here. Well, in Pineapple Invasion, when this stinky skunk right here just stinks out the place and everybody runs out of it, if we look closely in some shots, the galley grub and order here signs are completely missing. They should be right here, but the animators just didn't draw them for some reason. Kinda lazy. Plus, especially, it's really bad when in other parts of the episode we can see the galley grub menu right here and the order here sign right here. So why is it missing in this shot? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they made a mistake. And here's another one from the same episode. Alright, this one is really easy to miss. Like, I'm a total nerd for catching it. I say it all the time, but I'm a major nerd for catching this one. But when SpongeBob, like, escapes the Krusty Krab at nighttime with the Krabby Patty secret formula, and he's just about to run off screen, if we pause at the right frame right here, yeah, look, one of SpongeBob's bottom, like, pant legs is transparent. It should be brown like the rest of his pants, but you can see that they didn't color it in, and then you can see the wood from the Krusty Krab, like, filling it in there, so totally a mistake here. I'm circling it, you can see it right here. That's 2 right there, guys, and let's head over to another episode with even more mistakes.
SpongeBob?
You? Did you say SpongeBob? You're on the VIP list.
This next one can be found in the episode Best Day Ever, and here's a hint. This right here is the Krusty Krab sign. Remember this, roll the footage, and let's see if you guys can spot it. Yeah, so as you guys just seen, the Krusty Krab sign seems to disappear when SpongeBob arrives to it. It should be here, but it's missing. Like, if we go look at any shot of the Krusty Krab, there is always this iconic clam sign right here. But when SpongeBob arrives in this episode, it's missing. And how we know this is a mistake for sure is, like, when he walks to it, the sign now magically appears right here. Here's a side-by-side, it wasn't there before, and yeah, mistake. And don't click off yet, guys, because it's just gonna get crazier from here. Next up, I've got a season 11 episode for you guys. It's called The String, and this one's like pretty straightforward. It's all about SpongeBob pulling a loose string from Squidward's shirt that never seems to end. I'm gonna play some funny clips from this episode again, and then we'll get right into the mistake, so hold up.
Nobody look down! My leg! My pants!
Seat yourself, sir. Be with you in a minute.
Yeah, who knew they could make an entire episode's plot about a string? But it's actually a pretty good episode. Of course, though, even an episode like this has mistakes. So, roll the footage, here's the mistake. This is another one that's very easy to miss if you're not paying close attention, but as you guys know, Sandy Cheeks over here has a tail. She's a squirrel and she has a big tail, this right here. Well, when SpongeBob unravels Sandy's tail, like you guys just saw in those clips, it just magically reappears again as she's swimming up for air. Like, we literally see Sandy's tail get unraveled and like disappear, but I guess the animators forgot, because then once she's swimming up for air, her tail is now just suddenly back despite it literally just being taken away. I don't know. Definitely a little bit of cartoon logic, but at the same time, this one's kind of like silly. It's a mistake.
My Krusty Krab meal was delicious. I cannot recommend it enough. Well, I was just gonna loiter, but now I think I'll get a Krabby Patty.
What if I told you there's an entire episode of SpongeBob that's about a bulletin board where everybody just makes fun of each other? Yeah, well, it exists. It's the episode literally titled Bulletin Board, and a lot of drama happens in this episode, dude. But I mean, you're not really here for that. You're here for mistakes, and there's 2 spicy mistakes in this episode. Here's a hint. I'm showing a picture of the character on screen. This is Incidental 40. Remember how they look, because you want to look out for them in these clips. That way you can spot the mistake. I know you guys can do it. Roll that footage.
This bulletin board has become a bullying board.
Okay, that's it.
Did you guys catch it? Okay, so when Mr. Krabs says, okay, that's it, as SpongeBob is giving his little speech, we can see him walk through these incidentals right here like they're almost a door. And if you were paying attention to the hint I gave you, look, Incidental 40 is just drawn with no arms. We actually get 2 shots of this. We can see him right here with no arms before Mr. Krabs walks through them, and then even after he walks through them and they go back, look, this dude still has no arms. Where are his arms? I think arms are kind of important. Imagine if you just didn't have arms. Yeah, Nickelodeon, you did Incidental 40 dirty in this one scene, man. Like, come on. Anyways, though, here's mistake number 2 from Bulletin Board.
Close your mouth when you eat.
Alright, so as you guys just seen, Bubble Bass gets absolutely roasted because he doesn't close his mouth when he eats. And when he reads this, if you look closely, the rims on his glasses, which are normally black, alright? Like, look at these random other shots. If we even go back to Pickles, his debuted episode, his glasses, right? The rims and frames of them are black. But in that one scene I was just mentioning from Bulletin Board, when he reads the note, look, it randomly turns green. I'm showing a side-by-side. And just, yeah, it makes no sense that his glasses would randomly change to green. This was 100% a mistake by the animators, and kind of a funny one. And that's not even it for funny mistakes, because just wait until you see this next one.
If you're gonna work here, you'll need an official Krusty Krab hat. Say, that's a pretty neat trick.
Next up, we have the hilariously titled episode Planet of the Jellyfish, which is a play on of like Planet of the Apes. The plot of this episode is also like really cool, just saying. It's all about an evil jellyfish kidnapping Bikini Bottomites and cloning them. Like, seriously, give this episode a watch when you get a chance, but after this, of course. Don't click off the video. And here's the first one.
Whoa, look at all the customers.
One Krabby Patty.
Alright, so really quickly, this right here is Incidental 27. I'm showing a PNG of them. Remember how they look. More specifically, this fin right here, this tail fin. As in Planet of the Jellyfish, when SpongeBob first enters the Krusty Krab, we can see Incidental 27 over here, but something is missing. Yeah, his tail fin was just not drawn. And what makes this really funny is the tail fin isn't there in this shot, but later when he's seen growling at SpongeBob, look, his tail fin is now suddenly there. Here's a side-by-side. It was not there at first, and it just makes for somewhat of a funny mistake. They just forgot to draw it. Poor fish.
Your order is served, sir.
I'm sorry. I did not order a side of lips with my patty.
Oh dear.
This next episode of SpongeBob is a good example of why you should always listen to adults and people that know what they're talking about. The episode is Face Freeze, and it's all about SpongeBob and Patrick making faces just like these. Roll the clip.
Check this one out.
What do you think of this?
Seems fun, right? Just making a bunch of funny faces until their faces get frozen. Take a look at this.
You did hold that face all night.
Actually, I can't move my face at all.
Patrick, we have the face freeze.
Poor SpongeBob and Patrick, but to be honest, we should be saying poor SpongeBob animators because I got mistakes to expose from this episode. Take a look at this. And here's a hint. I want you to pay attention to where Squidward would normally work inside the Krusty Krab, okay? Roll that footage.
Oh, hey, how about this?
It's awesome!
This is another one that's very easy to miss unless you're like paying close attention. When the camera pans to Mr. Krabs' office, you'll notice that not only is the Krusty Krab cash register missing, this is normally where it is right here. Here's a shot from another episode. Yeah, the cash register is missing, as you can see, but also the order window is missing. This one's really bad. This is the window where SpongeBob always pops out and annoys Squidward. They just didn't draw it. Like, I don't know how they forgot to draw this in the Krusty Krab. It's kind of important. Mistakes happen though, and here's another one.
Onion juice! Ah!
Come on, SpongeBob, chop chop!
Okay.
This one we're definitely gonna have to slow down a little bit so people catch it, but when Squidward ducks behind the wall in the clips you guys just seen, after he says chop chop, we can actually see that he clips through the wall, meaning that he like goes through the wall, which as you guys know, you can't just walk through walls. He doesn't have like invisible powers. If you were to go and walk into a wall, you would smack into it. Your arm wouldn't go through it. So yeah, this is totally a mistake. I'm playing it in slow motion again, and yeah, you can see he's clipping through that wall. That's not supposed to happen.
You're way too old to stop me.
What was that, Sonny?
It'll take more time to explain than you have left.
What?
I'm gonna make this one another quick one. The episode is Goo Goo Gas, and this one's all about one of Plankton's nastiest schemes yet, where he finds a way to turn everybody in Bikini Bottom into babies. Like, look at baby SpongeBob, dude. He's so cute. As a matter of fact, here's a quick highlight of all the different baby characters in this episode, or all the baby versions of characters, and then we'll get into the mistake.
When you turn into babies... Ahem.
Aw, they're so cute, but what's not cute are the mistakes in this episode, guys. I hate to switch it up, but let's get to the mistakes. Here's the first one.
Victory is mine! That was almost too easy.
All right, so as you guys just seen in those clips, Plankton is seen running out of the Krusty Krab with a Krabby Patty. And if we look at this Krabby Patty, it's just a regular Krabby Patty. It isn't a cheeseburger, it's a regular burger. No cheese is on that burger. Getting kind of hungry now. Now I kind of want a burger. Actually, really quickly, guys, I'm gonna order a burger on Uber Eats real quick. 1 second. Okay, perfect. My food's on the way, guys. But as you've seen, the Krabby Patty has no cheese on it when he's running out of the Krusty Krab. But here's the problem, dude. When we see him actually leave the Krusty Krab, there is cheese on the patty. So we can see there's cheese on it, but then there's no cheese on it. Here's a side-by-side, and you can tell at first the animators drew it with cheese, but then in this shot, they were too lazy to put the cheese slice on the burger. Poor Plankton, he got gypped. All right, here's mistake number 2 from Goo Goo Gas.
No! I demand you geezers release me!
I want candy!
No!
This one's pretty straightforward and kind of funny. So as you guys know, Bikini Bottom is in the ocean, all right? So there isn't like a ceiling. They're not in a building. The sky just keeps on going up. If they keep on going up, they go out of water and then they're at Bikini Atoll, as you can see here. And then they could just keep on going in the sky to space, as you can see in this shot from Goons on the Moon. Well, in Goo Goo Gas, there's a moment where Plankton gets caught, all right? And he's put in a net. And as we can see, he's hanging in this net right here. But here's the problem, guys. They're underwater and they're not in a building. So what is this hanging from? Is it just floating in the air? Like, think about it. This thing right here would need to be tied to something. And based on what we've seen in this episode, it looks like it's literally just floating in the ocean from like hanging from the top of the ocean. I don't know, but this was a mistake. The animators definitely didn't think about this part very clearly. So yeah, I know I always say it though. Don't click off this video yet though, guys, because it's time for the random mistake of the day, where we take a quick break from SpongeBob to talk about mistakes in another cartoon suggested by you guys. And then you guys already know what I'm gonna say. We go right back to SpongeBob. So if you're only here for SpongeBob, don't worry, we're gonna go right back to SpongeBob. For now though, let's talk about mistakes in Pokemon. To be fair, I took a break from Pokemon for a while, okay? And remember, let me know in the comments what other cartoons you want me to cover for random mistake of the day. Do it. Leave a comment right now. Let me know. Anyways, though, we're gonna do the episode Charizard Chills from the Orange Island arc of Pokemon. And here's a hint. I want you to pay attention to Charizard.
Do you think you can break that drill?
Alright, so when the gang is dealing with Team Rocket here, for a majority of this section of the episode, Ash is riding on Charizard's back, and we can see them in the air. So Ash should stay on Charizard's back until they land so he can get off, right? But if you watch this scene throughout it, there are multiple shots where Ash is supposed to be on Charizard's back, but look, he's just missing. They forgot to draw him. But then seconds later, he's back on Charizard's back again. So he's on Charizard's back, then he's not on Charizard's back, and then he's on Charizard's back again, all in a matter of like a couple of seconds to minutes. So very messy mistake here, and here's one more from the same episode.
I overheard the gym leader mentioning your name. He said you used pure power to win.
That's what you use when you don't have skill. Oh, yeah?
Okay, so for this one to make sense, this character right here is Tad, and this character right here is Tracy. Now, Tracy, if we look at him in any other episode, he always has a pink, like, bandana or headband on. And in this episode, we're introduced to Tad, and Tad always has this green bandana on. Now, for one shot only, you can see that the animators made a little mistake. Because look, Tracy, who's supposed to have his pink headband, is incorrectly colored with Tad's headband. So it's green. It's supposed to be pink, but it's green. Here's a side-by-side of how it normally looks. And yeah, a little bit of a mess up here. And let's get back to what you really want. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. We're back to SpongeBob, and the episode is Sing a Song of Patrick. This is another very obscure episode, where Patrick writes a song and submits it to a record label. It's actually like an interesting plot. Here are some funny clips of what happens in the episode, and then we'll get into the mistake.
A poem by Patrick Starr. Roses are blue, violets are red. I have to go to the bathroom.
All right, it's mistake time, and here's a hint. All the mistakes in this episode focus around our boy Fred, the dude who's always like, my leg. That guy right there. Dude needs to be careful with his leg. Like, there's just always something happening. But yeah, 2 mistakes revolving around him. Pay close attention and roll that footage, baby.
Let's get him, boys!
And that was my new song.
You know, it's not that bad.
Yeah. At least.
Okay, so this one's a weird continuity error. So we get 2 shots of Fred in the clips you guys just seen. And at first, he's wearing brown pants, as you can see right here, all right? Our boy's just shirtless with these brown pants with his belt, okay? However, though, if we take a look at this other shot of him from the same scene, the animators forgot about the brown pants and just randomly give him blue pants. They even change his belt a little bit. Like, what? Here's a side-by-side? And I highly doubt while the dude was in the middle of being in a mob while holding a torch, decided to randomly change his pants. And look, I'm just saying, guys, I know incidental characters get duplicated all the time, but Fred is like a full-on character now. He had an entire episode about him called My Leg. So there only is one Fred, and I doubt he changed his pants, so this is a mistake. And here's one more. This is an audio error though, okay? Here's a hint. This is Incidental 27 right here, and I want you to pay attention to them. They shouldn't be speaking, but you guys pay attention to them and you'll see the mistake. Roll the footage.
And club? Oh, we should sing him a song!
Who's responsible for that song on the radio?
Why, he's right here!
Alrighty, like I said, this is an audio error. So, when Fred says, who's responsible for that song on the radio, just as he begins to say it and says, who's re, if we look over to Incidental 27 over here, his lips sync to what Fred is saying, despite the fact that Incidental 27 isn't saying anything here. They're not speaking at all. So you can see that they were supposed to animate Fred to say this line, but the animators messed up and also animated Incidental 27 to say this line as well when they don't actually say the line. Hopefully you guys get it, but it's a pretty bad mistake. I mean, come on. And guys, if you want even worse mistakes than this, click this video right here. If you do, I'll give you 1,000 Krabby Patties right now. I'll come to your house and I'll deliver them to you. Also, please hit that subscribe button. It helps a ton. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.